Hey, how's it going? Today I am going to read you some cards, but oopsie. After my phone finishes acting like Dennis Rodman, I would like you to look at some signs. And then I'm going to start talking about the cards I pulled today and some other stuff probably. So, first of all, I pulled what I thought was one card, turned out to be two, from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. I don't know why it felt like it had to be all tricky and be stuck to the card in front of it, but the first card I pulled was this one. And it is Lost Compass, and the subtitle is Getting Back to Integrity. Okay, gotta look at that. Looks like a sundial, well, not a sundial, like a shield disc with some kind of sun stuff happening. Like, I feel like all that golden light is related to the sun for some reason. And, oh, what's this here? Oh, some kind of prism. A power prism. I don't know. And the other, oh, and it's the number 35 card, which is the number 8. If you add the 3 and the 5. And I mention the numbers a lot of times and don't do anything beyond that. Oh, wow, I really didn't do anything with my hair. Well, anyway, the reason why I'll do that and just mention it and just not mention it again is because you can do what I do. You can search that information yourself. And I suggest you do it because, things are going to have an association once they run through my filters. It might mean something else to you. I mean, the basic general information is there, but because we're each unique, I think it's going to apply to us uniquely and differently. So if I don't say anything, don't wait for me to. Just, if you want to know more, feel free. You can or I guess it's I'm the only one I know that does not type with my thumbs. Okay, and the second card I pulled that hitched a ride was the number 1 card, Tidy House. And the subtitle is Clarity and Organization. So those two I feel like have some meaning together, but I'll get back to that because I want to show you the third card I pulled, which was from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And it is the Cheetah card, and that icon at the top there indicates the element of fire. And I'm going to explain that a little bit better than I have in the past. See, like, this background is reminiscent of flame. But the reason why the elements are at the top is they will reflect... Hey, come on now. It's hot. Well, they will reflect... like how the fire element translates in life or to whatever I'm going to say. So, I mean, you could go further with it. You could go deeper, always. I may not because I don't know deeper. Like, I'd have to go looking and find information myself. Or maybe I just feel like you can do it yourself, too. I'm glad people want to watch what I have to say. But also, like, kind of the point is, so can you. But anyway, that's why sometimes I won't go very deep into what I'm saying, is because I want, like, you to let your curiosity run wild too. Okay, so I was gonna say I did pull this card third, but it would kind of like set the tone, and immediately what I got was like a kind of a TikTok thing, like literally you better hurry up is what I heard. I'm not precisely sure what that refers to, but this compass for some reason, like, remember I started off talking about sundial. That is a measure. It's a clock. A really ancient clock. But something about this just made me think of time. And lost compass made me think of the way that, like, if spirit is telling you, like, get a move on, I'm going to relate that to, like, the shift matters, which for me is all about finding peace and calm and, you know, like, working through your own karma and basically just starting to understand, like, how that makes you tick. I think is, like, the main goal of the awakening, like, remembering who we are, because we have made ourselves forget a lot of things, and we've made, like, such an elaborate construct that it's hard to remember that, like, wait a second, this is just some things we made up together to do, to play, to help each other work through our stuff, basically. It's a collaborative, collective effort. I don't know why that's so funny, but a lot of times, like, if you watch readings like this a lot, the people will tell you, like, oh, I can't really do time, because they don't really tell you time. But the other thing is that they'll say soon, and soon to them could be like a decade, when soon to us is like an hour, tomorrow, next week. We don't want to hear a decade. And I think that's a cognitive dissonance. Oh man, maybe that's what's happening behind this compass, is dissonance. And getting back to integrity is the subtitle, and I wonder if, like, maybe we should hurry along getting back to our own integrity of remembering who we really are and what we're really here doing, like, kind of having to separate yourself from, like, the 3D reality around you, and, like, I guess gradually within ourselves blend, like, if I got, like, 4D or 5D or more thoughts, feelings, and such inside of me, and I want to see that, like, in contrast to the 3D stuff that's going on outside, that would cause some, like, dissonance, a little differences. It would cause some dissonance, or I think it does. I think we see that. I think it's, like, a little bit of us fighting ourselves, and I don't know who's holding the shield. I mean, like, is it me? Is it you? Someone is, though, and behind the shield, it's meeting some kind of, like, resistance, like, whatever's on this side, like, maybe the on-screen sort of, I don't know, low-vibe zones that you can circulate through on here. You can find them. It's not even hard. Like, even if I'm watching something positive, I sometimes have to turn it off, because the people start talking, and then what they're saying starts hitting me like, oh, no, now you're ruining everything you said before with the name calling or the ill characterization of people, and basically the just not understanding that we have forgotten that, like, really we're just acting out roles. Like, we're not species. We're not supposed to be taking it to heart and taking it all personal. I mean, the experience on the whole level, yes, I think we're supposed to totally take personal, and I'm not saying to disregard the people around you, but I'm saying the better we regard ourselves, starting from the inside, the better everything else gets regard. And what changes a society? Like, what is the simplest thing? They change their minds. Well, what's going to do it? The way we are right now, we, like, people will say, we can't talk to each other. We definitely meet brick walls a lot of times when we talk to each other, but I think it's because of the way we talk to each other. because we're talking at each other, and we're no longer even trying to hear what the other one says, or like give it any consideration at all. Like, so what if it's not your thing? You don't believe in it. You don't think it's real. You cut off the whole rest of the world that doesn't agree with you? That is silly. You literally can't do that. As much as you would love to be independent and separate and unique and different, we need help from each other. We always do. And like sometimes I've noticed, if it's the right kind of help, like it looks like me and it sounds like me and it doesn't offend me, then it's good help. But any other kind of help I can't have any knowledge of because it's terrible and bad. And I think that's kind of silly. So maybe that's something we need to hurry up and get the heck out of. Is like, why are we wasting time? I'm not saying halt your experience. Obviously, you're doing it for a reason. All of us are doing whatever we're doing for some kind of reason, but nothing that says you can't edit your program. So maybe getting back to integrity here is about getting back to remembering who we are, and then we can apply some integrity because we remember what the heck's going on. And then the dissonance, it's not repelling, it's actually trying to, I feel like it's like a persuasion trying to get us to meld and remember, or meld and remember to be calm and be kind and nice and considerate, and all of the things that I feel like we're kind of really lacking, even like to the ones we care about, so-called. Like, I'm not seeing it as that so much anymore. I'm seeing a lot more like argy-bargy, that's it, than anything, and not listening. And it feels like the not listening and the not understanding is causing more damage than almost everything else. Almost, like non-physical stuff I'm talking. And so the tidy house, here's all of the houses representing like the different kinds of people. And you know, I think a tidy house, I mean, it might be subjective, because what might look like an old falling down mess to someone else might be something that's looks to other people like something that stood forever, stood the test of time. Is not fancy, but it doesn't need to be. It does what it needs to do. It's, you know, pragmatic. It's cozy. It's comfortable. It's simple. It doesn't have a lot of newfangled problems, you know, but the more like advanced and civilized we get, it's like the more those words appear in my mind with quotes around them, with quotation marks, because smarter. We're so much smarter. Are we, though? We know so much better than we did. But do we? Because we seem to be doing some pretty self-destructive things on a massive scale and kind of not realizing it. So I don't know if like all of the newfangled is so great. It's like our deal with AI now. We're using a lot of it. We have been for a long time, which a lot of us may be late to learning that bit of information. And if you are, I wouldn't blame you for being annoyed, especially because they just started using it without understanding it. And sometimes things get out. They're not supposed to, I don't think, because once they do, if they don't stay out long for you to go back to and say, hey, there's this, they like bury it because it's embarrassing. They don't want you to know the danger. That's kind of like one of those for your own goods or for the safety of national security kind of BS sounding. We're not going to tell you something that because we think you're going to freak out and react in a way that's not going to be advantageous to my cause or their cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, we hide things for people for really lame and selfish reasons, and then we lie about it, you know? And I think that leads to the cognitive dissonance even worse. Like, it just, I don't know. I just feel like the more advanced and the more civilization and the more modernization, it's like the modernization is moving faster than we are to sort of keep track of it and attempt to if not control it, at least like understand what the heck's happening. We just like let stuff loose. So I don't know, is it a race for time before like more things get out of our control, or you know, beyond the point of control, when we finally realize, oh my gosh, we have to do things about stuff? I feel like that's the urgency, kind of like wake up and notice. But you know, again, with the time, it's confusing. You know, like spirit, like I said, their time dilation moves at a different speed, basically, and we're just barreling along full speed ahead. We don't even really know what's in front of us, so that seems kind of unwise. Like, hurry up and wake up and see where you're going before you smack into an immovable wall or something. So, excuse me. I did pull some other cards like I've been doing, and man, I ended up with so many, but with all of that I said in mind, I have hope, because more and more people every day are waking up to the new reality of the shift, a shift. I don't know that there's just one single one. It's a joining, I feel like, or we're being shown that there's an opportunity for the joining. I guess it's just always there for the taking if we want it, but kind of have to be willing, kind of have to desire that, you know. No, there's definitely desire happening here. Oh. Now see, this card I meant to look up the meaning for, because I'm kind of unclear on what I'm getting here. So hold on a second. Okay, so here's what it says about the Two of Pentacles. I got the this guy. It says, the two represents successfully balancing two or more initiatives. It encourages good prioritization and time management. Well, that seems like some good advice. I did think juggling. That's what I got when I saw this, and I guess I got a bit of it, but not all of it. So yeah, I think we're juggling until we can resolve the dissonance. And so, you know, maybe this is a reminder, not so much an urgency. You know, it seems like we're kind of, this suggests that we're in the midst of figuring this out, making this work to everybody's advantage. Oh, gee, I got another one. Okay, well, I did get a little something. Like, I feel like wands are like events coming, or messages. And it's the ace, and I feel like that indicates a plurality of wands. And so each sort of message or event has to do with a pre-existing bit of information or ongoing event. And I noticed that this little hairnet deal this person is wearing has all of these little connecting the dot points. And I think that is what's happening with the plurality of wands that the ace is handling here all at once, somehow making it all work. Because look at that face. So her third eye's on fire, so she's fully like on all cylinders there. Eyes closed in concentration, but the brow is not furrowed. She seems like she's almost in a trance. But you know, she's got a lot literally on her mind. Who knows how heavy that is, you know? It could be weighing. I'm sure it is. It's a lot. But, here's the goal. Happily ever after, whoop-de-doo. The fact that it's showing up is just telling me that that's attainable. And also, simultaneously going on. So, it's not like this, goal that's beyond reality. It's not. It is actually reality all the time. We sort of move in and out of phases, but yeah, we have that to look forward to, so that's good. But right now, here's us. We're faced with a lot of choices, especially, I'm thinking of the American election conversation right now is about which old man is more feeble than the other, basically. But there's all this news that I guess is frightening for some people, that, oh my God, the black vote is leaving Biden for Trump. I don't know that that's a lot of people. That is a special black person that can want to even go mix with any of that crowd, because I don't know. I've been watching them for years, and they don't seem friendly to not Caucasian men. Basically, everybody else is on a trial basis until suddenly they're not, and that seems to be the prevailing effect with that group of people. So I wouldn't go in there looking for anything better than what Biden has to offer as a black person. I think that when Obama was elected, that was highly instructive as to what a president actually can do about something like race. And because Obama was black, that was supposed to be the passkey to everything. Guess what? It totally wasn't. And people got mad at that, including me. I felt do more, but really, what was he supposed to do? You can't convince people that, 8 years later are still mad at the guy for being a black president. So, we're not all on the same page necessarily, but the prevailing number of us, regardless of which side ideologically we fall on, we better figure something out. Maybe there's some TikTok to that, because you're holding the rest of us up, basically. There's a lot of us that just want to cut to the chase and get straight to this, which is why what someone said not only, totally only, it aligns with what I already think and resonates like a bell ringing all hard. It's really simple, they said. It is a choice between good and evil, all this other stuff, the black people moving over here and whatever else is out there. I have never thought that was a real concern, because when the clock is counting down to the end there, when it's really the TikTok moment, I think people that can get to this decision will understand that one wants to do things that'll change America, not for the better. Particularly, I would think, if you're a black person, there ain't going to be a whole lot of them in an administration like that are going to be around, that are going to actually be trusted, that are not going to have all kinds of behind their back stuff going on they know nothing about, that they're left out of. I'm telling you, it's not a good decision. I mean, I can say what I want, all I want. Everyone's going to make their own decision. I'm just saying, I don't think it's a great choice. Having pondered it, not pondered voting for Trump or anything, but the idea of what could possibly appeal to black people to be involved with them. Look at Candace Owens. I don't know how much of a Trump lover she is, but she's definitely on the far right. She's placed herself there, and I don't know. I couldn't do what she's doing. I couldn't act like stuff doesn't happen negatively to black people. I don't know if she's experienced it or not. I don't know if she was able to successfully put it out of her mind. I have some cognitive dissonance on that, but you do you, boo. All of you. But my opinion is, I don't think those people are going to be for you when the come down comes down. I think you're going to be the red shirts in the equation. So, that being said, one thing that's going to make this and this and this all work a lot better and get out of the fear column and into the love column is to have that Ace of Hearts, Ace of Cups energy, which I feel like is a heart energy, big time. There's a vague heart-ish looking thing there in the chestal area, actually, where your heart sort of actually, your true physical heart actually sort of resides there. So, but isn't that where you feel love? Like, isn't that where you get the gut punch of emotion? Like, in that general torsal region where your heart is? I think that we have to spread our hands and make our hearts bigger and wider and more accepting of each other. And just put as much of what we got into our love column as possible and just kind of discard the rest, because that would be expedient. If you want to get quote unquote there faster, make that shift, then you kind of have to be fearless and just run out there and like do the unthinkable almost. That like there are some people that are doing it, you know, it's like living as if they are part of a larger thing, a family of humans, of humanity, all of them. They're not like taken aside. They're just seeing people in need and saying, here, I can help you. I'll give you some money, or tell me what you need, some of them, and I will go get it for you. I will help you. There's a community that I can make aware of your problems, and they will come together and help you. That is beautiful, and that is to the problems with the quickness. It's awesome. My ears are doing something funny. They're like, yeah, they're itching and ringing and feeling all hot. What's happening? So, I guess we have to be told and reassured over and over that despite all of the dissonance and the sort of separation madness, kind of, and moving away from our literal roots, like I feel like this is a tree basically, and that's a good thing, like to get closer to the earth than to all of this stuff that brings us all of this stuff and confuses us. The ultimate goal is this, and we will get there. We always do. That's kind of like the giant love column. But even when we're in this, we still look for people to be with. Like we want to pair up. Misery loves company, rage loves company, love loves company. We always go looking for more like us. So that just tells me we can be hopeful for the future. All of us on the blue marble, basically. We can have hope. Like, I stick to the United States when I talk on here, but I watch everywhere else, and it's happening everywhere. So, the good and the bad and the ugly. That's kind of how we do it. Thank you, and good night.